Well, I was born a coal miner's pickaxe. Hey everybody, what's happening? Willie here at the Great Outdoors. You know, there's a great thing that happens once a year in our worlds. Some people think it's great, some people think, well, it used to be great. Some people think, it's kind of cool. And then there's other people who think, I wish this would just stop. Now, what I'm talking about is birthdays. Yes, even I have one of those every couple of years, and one of them's come around. And because of that, there are people out there that know about it, and there are people out there that I don't want to know about it. And then there are people out there that do things about it. Now, one of those people in the last few years has been a good friend of mine, obviously met fishing and YouTubing and that sort of thing, Dan Selvig, who has the last few years made sure that he's remembered my birthday. I have to admit, I'm terrible with birthdays, I'm terrible with names. If I see your face, and I saw your face 40 years ago, I will know that I saw your face. Now I'm a believer. No, wait. Sorry, sometimes song lyrics get in the way of my conversation and I carry on with the song lyric instead of the conversation. But regardless, I'll remember you. But your birthday and your name, I'll just look at you and go, bah. Anyway, Dan has sent me a box. Now, when Dan sends me a box, I'm going to say that 9.962% of the time, there's something inside that box that is doggone cool. But most of the time I know what it is. This time I have no idea. We'll take a look at this thing and we're going to give it the once over and give Dan a good public thank you from YouTube and all of its subscribers, or mine anyway. And those of you who haven't subscribed to Dan, go ahead and subscribe to Dan. Dan fishes. He gets out there and catches fish. He uses these old things like I do and catches fish. I'm telling you, you may not believe this, but the fish doesn't care what you've got strapped to the rod, okay? He cares about what's on the end of that line. You need to care about what's strapped to the rod, and don't worry about what anybody else says. If it takes you 20 minutes longer to get a fish in, doesn't matter. Look at the fun you had in the process. Let's get into this box, because I am kind of eager. I'm a little bit giddy, if you want to know the truth. And I don't get as giddy as I used to, because my giddy doesn't giddy up quite as good as it. That doesn't sound right at all. Got a knife. Ain't afraid to use it. I'm afraid what happens after I use it sometimes, but in the process, I'm not too terrified about it. It's a nice box, though. Dan might get this box back. Dan, he might see it again. Hey, what are you cats doing out there? You better not be messing nothing up. I'm getting tired of cleaning up after you guys. I had a dream the other night that Boo and Pee-wee came down the stairs and cleaned up the house. Did the dishes, changed the litter box, vacuumed, all of that. And I came downstairs wondering how it all happened, and they were just laying there asleep like nothing happened. Anyway, I'm getting into this. What do we got here? What's in this darn thing? What is this? Oh! This is... Dan's trying to get me outside my comfort zone is what he's doing. It's a sidewinder. How does it work? I don't know. It's beautiful though. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. How do you cast it? You're throwing learning curves at me. Okay, this is it's a Shakespeare. I can barely read it. Shakespeare, cast or spin. Huh? Wondereel, cast or spin Wondereel, 1770 is the number. Y'all have got to look at that. Now, obviously, as clean as it is, Dan's already gone through it. I mean, I'm going to have to get instructions. Is there instructions, Dan? There's no instructions in there. You're just being funny now. So, you release by winding backwards. Obviously, that does that. Then when you kick it back in, okay, there is a drag. I felt it. My two cats are playing in the hallway. I just kind of hope that they continue playing, because I have had to go out there and break them up. Let me tell you how much fun that is. I don't know if any of you have ever decided to grab a hold of a cat when they're in full lunatic, getting ready to chew you in half mode. I know you people watch me thinking, oh, he knows it all. No, I don't. Or some of you might watch and go, he don't know nothing. And you'd be close to right. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out just like everybody else would. Unless you actually owned one of these things back in the day, which I obviously haven't. Where's that fly rod at? Is that thing still back here? It's just one of these stupid Bass Pro Shop fly rods that exploded on the cast, and I've kept it because I can still use the handle for situations such as this. All right, let's put it on here. I hate putting it on here because I don't think it's been on anything. I have to ask Dan if this reel has actually ever been fished at all. I don't think it's going in there. We'll go over here and get the ugly stick dock runner. Ow! Just hit my not so daggone funny bone on the corner of the table of contents. It wasn't funny. If any of you are laughing, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You owe me a nickel. I was playing with Pee-wee this morning and he stuck a claw right in my nose. He didn't know. I mean, I wasn't blaming him. My own stupidity. I was playing with a cat with sharp claws. I mean, we're going to put this on this little shorty rod. I'm going to put this line through the eyelets here. And we're going to see how exactly this thing works. Because I don't know. I am not from around here. Okay, it releases just like in a lot of the other Shakespeare versions. You kick the lever backwards, boop, and it releases the line, and you reel it up. Now, obviously, I would have this on a fly rod where my hand would be in front of it. And to cast, you know, I would grab the line like that. I'd kick that backwards, and I would go, whee! And Boo almost came under the door just now to try to get a hold of that. Which is why I don't let him in here. Everything in here looks like a toy. Everything with hooks and sharp thingies and all that. So I would just grab the line, I would kick it backwards, I would cast. That makes all the sense in the world. I get that. It has a drag, just a small button. Has a small button here on the side, which is a drag. But where I'm a little bit discouraged is right in there. I don't understand what that's for, unless my drag isn't enough. If the drag isn't enough, you can, maybe put your hand on that to slow him down. I'm guessing here, gonna have to call Dan and say, hey, what the heck does this thing do? I mean, do y'all want to do that? I mean, probably call him right now. I mean, he's in Minnesota, it's cold, he ain't doing anything. He's just sitting there, he's either reloading bullets or giving stuff away to people. That's how Dan is.
Hello, Willie.
Hello, Dan. I've got you on video right now. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
He said, did you hear that? He sounded extremely happy that he was on video right now.
I wasn't seeing you on video.
No, you're not seeing me. You're actually on it right now talking to me.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to talk about this crazy reel that you just sent me.
Okay.
Because I understand part of it, but I don't understand all of it. So you're gonna help give me the understanding. By the way, thank you. I appreciate it very much. It's extremely clean and looks like it's never been fished in its life.
Well, actually, I did fish with it one time last summer, and it worked fine.
Oh, okay.
But like I say, it's a bit cumbersome to use. But once you get the hang of it, it's a good reel.
Well, I can't think of anything that I don't use that isn't cumbersome. But I understand obviously the casting. You kick the lever backwards, it lets go of the line. It'd be just like anything else that Shakespeare did. I understand the drag button. I understand the clicker. What I don't understand is the big hole in the front of the cover. Is that to help slow something down if the drag isn't enough?
No, actually, that's for holding the line prior to casting. You put your thumb in that hole, and then when you cast, it's like a regular spin cast. You know, instead of letting it go to the button, you let your thumb out of that hole.
Really?
Yeah.
So.
But it depends on whether the reel is mounted topside or on the bottom of the rod. And
I see.
And that particular hole is meant for right-hand use, topside on the rod.
Ah, okay. So if you're using it right hand upward, like a normal spin cast reel would be,
yep,
you would use that hole to hold the line when you cast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if you're using it as an underspin, you wouldn't use that hole on the side of the reel at all.
Right, yeah. Tony from the Fishing Things channel did a fishing video with that particular model of reel, and he had it mounted on a spinning rod underneath the rod, so he was using it that way.
Okay. Well, that's the way I'm most likely going to end up using it. It's probably going to be on a fly rod.
And you could still actually use that hole, but it would be kind of, like I said, awkward.
Yeah.
And it would take two hands to cast on a spin.
You would probably
use that hole.
You would probably have to use your pinky because your hand would be in front of the reel.
Right, yeah.
And to try to get that line. Okay, well now that makes sense. Because when I first seen it, the first thing that went through my head was Zebco, and I was going to have to try to control the line spin with, the ball that's rolling inside the thing. But no, after messing with it for just a littlest bit and people watching me go cross-eyed trying to figure it out, I figured out most of it. Now, I like the little drag. It's very small, but it seems to work quite well.
Another handy feature on that reel is there's a little hexagon-shaped hole on the cap.
I saw that. Let me.
That's for taking the nut off from the crank and also off the rotor.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Let me show everybody. Let me show everybody that real quick if I can. If you look back here, what Dan is saying, there's that hexagon hole that you see there is actually, it fits the nut that's on the outside for the crank arm. And I guess it fits the nut on the inside for the rotor?
I think so.
Okay, and it probably fits the nut on the inside for the rotor. So you actually have a tool to work on the reel built into the cap right there. Now that's the kind of thing right there that just has to make you wonder what happened to Shakespeare that they are what they are now and not what they used to be.
It's a different generation.
It is, because that was thinking right there. So now I am and here's the other cool thing, it's green. That's just amazing. Yeah, it's like a Johnson kind of thing going on there. Now, what came first? Obviously, the Shakespeare probably came after Lloyd Johnson came up with the Model 10 and went all the way to the Model 80. So, what time frame are we looking at here with the 1770?
I'm thinking the late 50s, like maybe around 1957 or so.
The letters on here are FE.
FE. Oh,
so that would be
50 something.
Yeah, okay.
1956.
56, okay. So we have a 56. Now that's not saying that this model, of course, is a 56. It's just saying this model was designed in 56. Now how many years it went after that?
They didn't make that reel very long. I'm thinking the production run lasted about a year or two.
So then Lloyd Johnson made the first Model 10 in 1949, I think it was.
Yeah.
So then the Sidewinder had been out for quite some time at this point by the time the 1956 version of the Shakespeare came out. We're learning stuff, people. We're learning right here, right now. We are learning things. Well, thank you again. I very much appreciate the reel. I am actually looking very forward to using this.
I knew you would.
Yes, it's hard for me not to look forward to using something, because this is even though, you know, I might have to take the Model 80 out with me with this and just do a Sidewinder episode.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, just a Sidewinder episode. So I'm just going to leave it as is then. I'm not going to tear into it because I know obviously you probably have already gone that route. But again, I say thank you very much. I am looking forward to this. This is going to be fun. If I could get this cold weather to go away, I would be the happiest man on the planet.
Yeah, well, as we're speaking here, snow's coming down to Mankato, but it's not real heavy.
Well, as we're speaking, it's 38 degrees here and it's raining. So, yeah, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate it. I'll be talking to you.
Talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Now that's just awesome. That's all I can tell you. It's awesome. The people that you meet, I would say 99% of the people that you meet on YouTube are great people. Dan is one of the best. I cannot begin to tell you. And I've got many others. There's a couple of Brians, a John, a Gary. I mean, just tons of people that I have met through YouTube that are just great people. And Dan, like myself, loves to see this old stuff back out there doing what it does. And that's part of why I do this. What started out as really just something to do as a hobby, to have fun. Next thing you know, you add a GoPro, get on YouTube, find somebody that can help you edit, my son. And the next thing you know, there's other people like you guys, like myself and Dan, that are out there that want to see this stuff back out there doing what it does. So there you go. This is the 1956 Shakespeare 1770 Sidewinder. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, this thing's gorgeous. And that green, man. I think Johnson probably could have taken a few pointers from Shakespeare with this green, man. This thing is gorgeous. But looking very forward to using this. I hate to say it, but this one might jump in front of a few other reels. Sorry, if there's one that you had in specifically you wanted to see, put it in the comments. If there's one that I've done in the last couple of months or 5 or 7 that we did a rebuild on or tore apart or you've seen that you'd like to see fished, let me know. Got a lot of camping coming up. And a lot of these reels, I've got to find a way to carry them all. I think I can do it. Get one of them foam padded Pelican boxes, you know, and carry it around like, you know, handcuff it to my wrist like 007 or something, you know. Dark sunglasses and always talking into my watch. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This is really cool. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it again. We'll see you guys on the next one. Whatever the next one may be. I'm gonna cast it at you again, boo. Just for fun. There's no hook on it. I mean, you don't know what a hook is, but I'm serious. It's no hook and you're not gonna get hurt or anything. Maybe I'll put like a, I don't know, I'll go outside and catch a bird and put it on there or something.